Welcome to the 2022 primary election candidate videos, made possible by a partnership between Collin County Votes, which is an initiative of the Collin County Business Alliance, and the Allen, Frisco, McKinney, and Plano Chambers of Commerce. I'm Leanne Libby, General Manager with Community Impact Newspaper in Plano, and I'm excited to introduce our viewers to Joshua Murray. He is running for County Judge. Welcome, Joshua.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. So we're going to jump right in and get to the first question. In your own words, what is the role of a county judge?
So the county judge is the top elected official within the county. If you think about it like in the lower terms of government, look at your city's mayor or your town's mayor, and really they are ultimately in charge of, for the county level, delivering services to include public health, infrastructure, public safety, and also delivering justice as mandated by the state of Texas. Specifically, the county judge has some additional emergency management authority when it comes to responding to, whether it be natural disasters, public health disasters, in which they can actually utilize additional executive powers. So really your county judge is ultimately like the mayor of the county.
Great. Well, so if elected, tell us what would be your top 2 to 3 priorities.
Excellent question. Top priority is to establish a culture of government that is accountable and transparent. With that being said, we must take care of our county employees and establish the type of culture in which we're going to see a decrease in turnover. We're also going to see a higher level of morale in which the employees will in turn deliver a better service for us. It is imperative that we cut down on our turnover rate so that we can properly invest for the infrastructure and the growth that's coming. We need motivated employees in order to do that. And then, another large priority of mine is working with the rural communities and the developers that we bring into Collin County to ensure that the communities out in the rural areas are getting a good deal when it comes to developments that are coming into the large, vast areas of Collin County that are now in high demand, so that these areas' growth rates just don't, exceed a limit in which they can't actually support too quickly. We've got to make sure that when developers come, the developer agreements have in there the proper things to support the growth that come with them.
Well, speaking of growth, we know Collin County is one of the fastest growing counties in the country. So what are your thoughts on that growth so far to date, and what would your priorities be going forward?
I think, growth's ultimately going to come. We've seen the projections in the build out. I mean, we've got a long way to go here, and it is coming. So whether or not I like it or not, it is what it is. And so we've got to properly prepare for it. In order to properly prepare for it, we must have plans in place. We've got to update our mobility plans so that it not only allows the thoroughfare that connect the larger roads like that NTTA or Dallas North Texas tolls, these roads that they're responsible for. We've got to make sure that we've got the proper thoroughfares in between to support the growth that is going to come. Also, we've got to ensure that we've got the type of services that are scalable to support the growth, so that as the growth comes in large amounts, it doesn't increase the cost of essential services. And we've seen that in regards to sewer, water, electric, cost of education, your local trash, the cost of medical services. All these essential services continue to increase as the growth comes. And without proper plans in place to ensure that you're investing in it, affects our ability to properly provide services at a cost-effective rate in the near term and the long term.
Thank you. So you mentioned mobility. We know transportation is something that needs to be addressed in Collin County. What would you say is the number one transportation issue, and how would you address it for Collin County?
Ye- Well, for me right now, the number one transportation issue that was not only, like I said, in ensuring that the county's roads and those thoroughfares are constructed properly, but we've also got to have a plan in place to maintain them properly. And right now, we don't. For those that aren't aware, we've recently discontinued services with the people that clean our county buildings. The county attempted to take that as an internal process. Unfortunately, we just weren't able to recruit enough staff in order to do that. So we've got public works that are coming in to clean and taking away from their ability to actually do their jobs the way that they need to. So in order to do this, we must have a plan in place to properly maintain what we have and a plan in place to construct what is needed. And what we need to do is we need to set an order of precedence on what is going to provide the most per capita in the locations that are absolutely necessary. And we tackle those projects first. We ensure that our public works department has the staff and the resources to maintain our existing roads, but also the new ones that are constructing. So those are the main priorities when we talk about mobility.
Thank you. So shifting over to business, what do you see as the top need for the business community or needs? And what would you do to help meet those needs to ensure continued economic growth?
When we talk about business needs, especially with the pandemic, we've seen such a difference in whether it be a hospitality, manufacturing. There's different services that need all different types of things. And so to say that there's one blanket response for the business community would be inaccurate. But what we do need to do is we need to ensure that the business community and working with the chambers that the specific industries that do need assistance, that we're working on networking and providing these resources because there's a tremendous amount of resources that are available to small businesses and to businesses, especially, with the pandemic and the current situation. But we've got to ensure that these resources are not only available, but they're easy to get and to acquire. And even for a small business, if there's a way for them to get $10,000, we need to ensure that they're absolutely aware with it. So for me, I think it comes down to education. I think the highest concern that we're seeing within the business community is inflation and the ability to get product, and a lot of that comes down to our manufacturing plants, logistics, shipping. Even if we've got good county roads and good thoroughfares throughout Collin County, there's a little bit of impact that we can have there, but we can definitely set up the infrastructure. We can work to attract businesses in areas that, whether it be out in areas where we've got plants that need manufacturing, or we've got certain areas where you have logistic points as drop off that can make it more efficient. But we've got to work with the chambers and all of the businesses to determine what specifically they need for their industry.
Okay, thank you. So, the business community and many of the organizations representing it have prioritized promoting equity and diversity through hiring practices, programs, and other community investments. Because Collin County is such a diverse area in every sense of the word, can you talk about what equity and diversity mean to you?
Man, from a government standpoint, I think, and we're talking about a government definition of equity, me as an elected official and as your next county judge, like, how am I going to be equitable? And that is going to be to treat everybody the exact same. And regardless of your religion, your skin color, anything, I am a servant of the people. And it doesn't mean that just the Democrat people or just the Republican people, it's a servant of all people of Collin County. And in order to do that, I must be transparent in what I'm going to deliver. Could you cover the second half of the question? I'm sorry.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's kind of a long one. So, because Collin County is such a diverse area in every sense of the word, can you talk about what equity and diversity mean to you?
Yeah, and so when we talk about the definition of equity from a government standpoint, really it's seeing all people as people. Where everyone is a person and everyone is people, and they all must need representation. And so I think it's imperative that and especially for our long-term standpoint, as far as business relations go, we must have a marketable product that is inclusive of all. And when we talk about equality, it is seeing everybody and serving everybody equal. And it's regardless of your social status, how much money you got, what color skin you have, it doesn't matter. As a elected official, I am to treat everyone equal, and everybody will have that same one. And then the second one was social justice.
That wasn't part of the question, but I was really just kind of around your feelings of obviously a lot of the business community involving equity and diversity and their all the different aspects of their businesses and organizations, and just kind of how you feel about that. So I think you answered it. Is
Okay, awesome.
there anything else you want to add? We've got one question left.
I'm ready.
Okay. So if you were talking to someone from outside of Collin County and they were thinking about moving here or moving their business here, what would be your 30-second pitch?
Collin County is an up and coming county in which we've got an opportunity to establish a foundation that's going to allow your family or your business to grow. And the way that we do this is we establish cost effective essential services to everyone. And if you come to Collin County, we have the resources. We also have the necessary labor force to support your business and for you to make a living. We also have a tremendous areas for growth opportunity up in our north and our northeastern regions, in which all different types of businesses are welcome here. So if you're looking for somewhere to raise a family, if you're looking for somewhere to open a business, come to Collin County, because we have what you need and we are establishing the proper foundation so that you can build upon it. As your next county judge, I'll establish that foundation.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Murray, for joining us today and sharing your thoughts with our viewers on important issues.
Cool. Thank y'all for having me, and y'all have a great day.